Hey everybody, Austin back again, continuing this Sega Master System Let's Play Marathon for 2014. As you can see here, we've actually got a game selection screen up, and in today's video we're actually going to be playing Hang On. Safari Hunt, which you see below, we're going to actually tackle later on when I do another series of light gun games. Since they won't take nearly as long, I can do multiple games in one video. So yeah. Hang On / Safari Hunt was actually pretty much the original pack-in for the Sega Master System when it came out, and it includes Hang On as well as Safari Hunt. But yeah, today's video is going to be Hang On. Hang On's not a very complicated game, at least not the Master System version anyway. This is a port of the arcade game by the same name, however, there have been some major changes. For one, the graphics obviously aren't as good, the sprites aren't as large. However, they do still look pretty good. They scale. It's got some good line scrolling for like the sides of the tracks and things like that. But there are a couple of other major cutbacks though. Like there's no in-game music, which is a real bummer because I really liked the main theme in Hang On. It's one of my favorite racing game main themes alongside the stuff that you found in Outrun. And actually, now that I think about it, I want to say the guy that did the soundtrack for Hang On, I think he also did the soundtrack for Outrun, funny enough. So, but yeah, Hang On, essentially, we're actually in the game now. This is me playing. And Hang On basically has one goal, and that's pretty much play through each course and get to the end of the course, or something like that. Essentially, I want to say there's 8 courses in the game, which the course number is denoted at the top right-hand corner of the screen. And each course has, I want to say, 4 sections. It has this green section, green grass. I think it gets a little more dim out, and then it goes completely nighttime. And then from there, I think you go back to daytime to desert, or maybe desert's the second one. We're going to find out as I play through this. It's been a little while since I played Hang On. But yeah, the goal is to do it before the timer ticks down completely. And what you'll find is, as long as you know to brake and not just hold down the gas the entire time, you'll find it's actually not that difficult. And even though my time's running out, I just got some more right there. So here we go. Don't run into the enemies, or not really enemies, but your opponents, because your opponents, you'll pretty much explode for some odd reason the second you touch your opponents. I don't think that happened in the first arcade Hang On. I mean, I could be wrong, but let me know in the comments below. I want to say in the arcade Hang On, when you touched an enemy, they pushed you into the side, and if you slammed into something on the side, that's when you blew up, or toppled over, or whatever. Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that was only Super Hang On, which was the sequel to the arcade Hang On, and a great game, mind you. Super Hang On's probably an even better game than the first one, because it's got a turbo functionality, which is really cool, and it's a really, really fast game. But yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. I think in the arcade version, if you slam into an enemy, they push you over, and that's it. But in this Let's Play video, we're basically not going to be playing through all of the courses. I might do 2 or 3 courses and then cut the video off, because Hang On can get very repetitive, if you ask me. I should have actually geared down, and that would have helped me out a lot. Hang On can get very repetitive, because you're basically going through the same courses over and over. I mean, the turns are different, but the backgrounds are always the same. They come in the same pattern, and so we're only going to be doing a couple courses and then pretty much cutting the video off. But this is definitely a game I wanted to cover because it was originally a pack-in for the Master System, and because of that, Hang On, and Safari Hunt is one of the most common Master System games you can get. If you have a Master System and don't have this game, there's probably an issue, because pretty much most Master Systems manufactured in the US had Hang On and Safari Hunt. Well, I won't say most, but a lot of them had them. And I want to say the game was even sold separately. I think you might even be able to find a standalone Hang On version. Actually, you might not be able to. You might only be able to find it with Safari Hunt. But I think the Hang On and Safari Hunt bundle, though, was available on its own. I think that might be what it is. I'm not sure. Post a comment below. Let me know if I'm talking out of my ass or not. I have not done any research prior to doing this video, as I normally do. I don't normally research, because a lot of this stuff I sort of just speak through experience, not so much research. Like, when I played this game in the past, this is how I felt, or this is what I remember. And sometimes my memory is not always working. So, but yeah, we're pretty much at nighttime. The next time, the next level is daytime, or sorry, dusk, or not really dusk, but morning, early morning. And we're up to 70 seconds. That's how well I'm doing. I mean, to get 70 seconds is on the clock means you're doing really well, and you've got extra time left over. So let's hope this guy doesn't run into me. Let me switch over. Now, one of the awkward things about Hang On, and this is pretty much the case with most racing games on the Master System, because the Sega Master System only has 2 buttons on the controller. Now you're probably saying to yourself, well, awesome, the NES only has 2 buttons as well. That's not right, actually. The NES actually has 4 buttons. You've got Select and Start. And the Master System does not have that. Those buttons are on the console, which leaves you to only have 2 buttons on the controller. So whereas on a racing game on Nintendo, if you wanted multiple gears to shift through, you could hit Select in some cases to do something like that. Or you'd have the option to. Or I'm just talking hypothetically speaking here. The Master System, well, there's not really anything else you can do, so you have to tap up or down on the D-pad. Now there's a big problem with that. And the problem is that the Master System controller's D-pad really is not very good for certain kinds of games. Because the directional pad is like one big square. It's not a section D-pad like you have with the NES, where the diagonals, it's basically just, there's no D-pad there. It's just up, down, left, and right, and that's it. Which, on an NES, it makes it very difficult to accidentally go diagonally. On the Master System, it's very easy to accidentally go diagonally or accidentally press a direction you didn't mean to, because you might very well be holding right, but because of how the D-pad is shaped, and your thumb's just sitting slightly in the upward position, maybe, the game will also think you want to go up and right, not just right. So, and that's a problem with shifting in this game, is you might be holding left, but your thumb might slip up ever so slightly and tap up, and you will downshift to the medium position. And you'll be like, why did that just happen? Well, it just happened because it was the controller. Now, a little bit of a spoiler is, up to this point in my Master System Let's Play Marathon, I've actually been using a Sega Genesis controller. And that's one of the absolute great things about the Master System, is you can use a Sega Genesis controller on the system. And vice versa. You can use a Master System controller on the Genesis, but there's really no reason to unless you're playing Master System games on the Genesis, which you can do through the power-based converter or using a Genesis flash cart on a Genesis Model 1 or Model 2. I don't believe it works on Model 3s. But yeah, Master System games can theoretically be played on a Genesis, and the controllers are pretty much backwards compatible. They use the same pinout and whatnot for the most part. But yeah, one of the big things in Hang On when you're playing is just brake a lot. See, I should have put the brakes on even more, and I should have geared down. I think that was probably the exact same spot I blew up at on the first course. And braking and going down gears will help a lot in order to retain control. And it doesn't matter if you take some of these corners really slow, as long as you get through them without blowing up. Blowing up's really the bad part, because it sets you back time-wise. And if you blow up maybe twice, 2 or 3 times, you're probably not going to get to the checkpoint, which it's actually getting pretty close right now. Although, no, we're going to make it. I forgot that in the top right-hand portion of the screen, it tells you how much distance you have left to actually complete the track, or the section of the track, sorry, which is cool. So, and if you're not sure if the exit's nearby, or the checkpoint, sorry, is nearby, you can look at what you have left to see if you're going to actually make it or not. And so, yeah, my main tactic when I play this game is to be constantly shifting down and braking. Preferably shifting down on these tight turns and then shifting back up to get ahead of these guys. Actually, downshifting is actually probably even better than just braking, because it looks like you have more control by downshifting. Whereas if you brake, you still sort of slide and you jitter a little bit, which makes it challenging to keep control. And you'll jitter right into an opponent, which is bad, just like that, where you sort of skip off the track a tiny bit. I don't remember if that actually happened in the arcade hang-on, now that I think about it. I don't know if it's something that's exclusive to the Master System version. I mean, essentially, this is hang-on in spirit, not so much in actual form. I mean, there's the obvious cutbacks because the arcade hardware that hang-on was running on was probably a lot more powerful. There's a lot more it could do. It could display a lot more colors, for instance, and it had the FM sound, which Master System hang-on does not. And I don't think the Japanese one has it either, although I could be wrong. I'll have to look into that, because I'm kind of interested now to see if the Japanese version of hang-on used the same sound hardware, or if it was one of those games that actually utilized the FM chip inside the Japanese Master System consoles. So what we'll go ahead and do, guys, is play through one more course. There's actually 8 courses altogether. And apparently you can technically beat the game by going through all 8 courses, but I've never done that, and I don't really intend on doing that anytime soon, because, to be honest with you, as awesome as Hang-On is, I think it's a really cool game, and it was a pretty solid little pack-in for 1986, I think, when it came out. Pretty solid, especially when you compare it to NES racing games at the exact same time period. It's really solid little pack-in, but I get bored when I play it because I'm just kind of doing the same thing over and over. Arcade hang-on's a little bit different. You have 5 or 6 courses or something like that. Not courses, so to say, but sections of the track. And once you beat it, that's basically it. I think that's the end of the game. There's no going through. I mean, it might restart you and to go through it again, but that game is so much more difficult than this. So it's a little bit different. It's a little more exciting. This just kind of, it's cool. It's great for the time, don't get me wrong, but I get bored of it, to be honest with you. And it's almost looking like I'm not going to make it. Ooh, very close. Very close. So let's see if I can do this one a little bit better than the last one. Getting close. It's definitely getting a little more challenging, but I think I'm going to make it. Getting close again. I have a couple extra seconds than what I had last time, so that's good. Keeps me in a good position. And what I'll probably do is I'll have a better time if I start going into these corners a lot sharper at full speed. Like so. So I can go through a portion of the turn at full speed. Just like so. And then I think once I get to this checkpoint, if I get to it, I'm going to be in better standing than I was before at the last checkpoint. Or the last 2 checkpoints, to be honest with you. Yeah, I'm going to be in much better shape. Yeah, 71 seconds now, whereas I think the last time I had 65 after it gave me more time. So going into the corners at top speed is good, but you have to be careful because you're going to start jittering and going to the edge of the track, and then you're going to fall off the track and blow up. And if I had blown up on any of those corners, I don't think I would have gotten to the checkpoint. Although now I could probably... I have enough time now to where I think I could sacrifice at least one explosion. Or I could... I'll be fine if I blow up once. What I'll probably eventually do is do a Let's Play of the arcade Hang-On, but it's going to be through the Dreamcast. I have the Yu Suzuki GameWorks book and game disc for the Dreamcast, and basically it's a really cool book that talks about Yu Suzuki's history with Sega and his early like super scalar games. Unfortunately, it's all in Japanese, so I have no idea what they're saying for the most part, but it's full of awesome pictures and things like that. And but it also comes in, includes a disc which has 4 of his arcade games on it. It has Space Harrier, Power Drift, Afterburner 2, and Hang-On. And it's, aside from Shenmue on the Dreamcast, it's pretty much, as far as I'm aware, the only perfect arcade conversion of Hang-On. Now, don't get me wrong, it's probably emulation. They probably didn't actually port it. But either way, it's pretty much the only console you can play Hang-On on without emulating it through MAME or something like that. You're actually playing it on a console through a legitimate licensed disc by Sega. So, but there we have it, guys. That is Hang-On. I'm going to pretty much just wrap this video up right here. No need to go through all 8 courses, even if I can. But as usual, I'm going to say thanks for watching. If you're new to my channel, be sure to subscribe. And this month-long Master System Let's Play Marathon is far from over. We've got a lot of more games. I've been saying that a lot lately. That's not right. I've got a lot more games to cover for the rest of July 2014. And yeah, stay tuned. And I'll be back in a couple more days with another Let's Play of a Sega Master System game. So until then, guys, take care.